What is up, CroatianSports.com nation? Ante Kvartuc here in our Los Angeles studios with a new face to Croatian sports, 22-year-old, former Oklahoma kicker, Cleveland native, the pride of the OHIO, Mr. Gabe Brkić. Gabe, welcome to Croatian Sports. Pleasure having you here, and thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here. It's cool.
For everyone out there, Gabe just graduated from Oklahoma University. He was the kicker for Oklahoma, who finished, I believe, 10th in the nation last year. And Gabe is projected to go at the NFL draft to be drafted by an NFL team in Vegas in a couple weeks. So we're going to talk about Gabe, about his Croatianness growing up in Cleveland. We're going to talk about getting drafted and who you want to be drafted by. I know you might give me a political answer on that one, and we'll talk about the upcoming World Cup with Croatia. But Gabe, again, thanks for joining me at Croatian Sports. I want to ask you first, kind of your Croatian background. You're from Cleveland, huge community. Were you born in Croatia? Were your parents born in Croatia? Grandparents? What's your Croatian story?
So all my grandparents were born in Croatia. I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, or Chardon, Ohio, a little east of Cleveland. But yeah, my dad, his side of the family, they're from Shkabrnja. It's near Zadar, and my mom, they're from Metković area.
Very cool. How often do you go back there?
I used to go like every summer, but then when like football started getting serious in high school, I had to quit soccer, and I couldn't go anymore. Like we all the summers were booked up with football camps and stuff.
Got it. So you started taking football pretty seriously at in the middle of high school, it sounds like.
Yeah, sophomore year of high school, I think.
Very cool. Well, it sounds like it's about to pay off in a couple months here, my friend.
Dude, I hope.
I mean, you said your family's from Shkabrnja and Metković and in the Zadar area, but you're from Cleveland. You're from Cleveland, Ohio. Huge Croatian community. What do you remember growing up in Cleveland? Obviously, the diaspora. I'm here in LA. I have friends in Cleveland, New York, Toronto, Chicago. What was kind of your best moments growing up Croatian in Cleveland?
Yeah, so the Croatian weddings in Cleveland, they're huge. It's probably like 800 people or 1,000 people. We'd have a couple of those every year. And also like the soccer tournaments in Toronto, they had them in Chicago. I think one was in Cleveland. Those were always fun. We used to do that. And then I used to play soccer with the Croatian club ever since I could remember. So that's been a blast. A great community in Cleveland.
What was your position when you played soccer before you became a kicker?
A striker. I was scoring goals.
Scoring goals, huh?
Yeah.
So you're a soccer guy, and you're obviously an American football guy. Who's your favorite player on the Croatian national team right now? Since you come from a striker background.
I think my favorite player ever is probably Modrić.
It's a safe answer, my friend. It's a safe answer. How can you not do Modrić? The guy's whizzing around at Real Madrid and Croatia at 36 years old. I mean, the guy's amazing. So you were playing in the tournaments in Cleveland and Chicago, and the GTA. They have a big tournament up there in Toronto. What can you tell us about those tournaments and any kind of crazy moments that happen at those tournaments? Any disruptions on the field?
Yeah, there'd be a fight every now and then, but there'd always be a party there. I used to love it. I mean, I think right now, I haven't played soccer in probably 3 years, but I think right now I could jump back on the field and score a couple goals at any tournament.
We got a tournament in LA coming up. I might pick you up on our squad then if you're talking like that. Listen,
I could. But...
Well, moving from your Croatian background and soccer, you were a high profile kicker for the University of Oklahoma. You just graduated. I would turn on the TV and I'm like, who's this Brkić kid kicking? Is he Croatian? What's going on? We got to talk to him. What's going on here? And you're nailing these field goals. I mean, you're amazing, man. I want to ask you what's one of your favorite moments playing or going to school at the University of Oklahoma in Norman?
I think it'd be like Baylor 2019. I had the game winner at their stadium. So it was cool. That was one of the loudest games we've had that year. So like, and we kind of shut them up after I hit the game winner. And this past year we had I had another game winner versus West Virginia, which was really cool because it was in our stadium and all the fans loved it. It was a walk-off game winner, so I never forget those.
What's that feel like? Like, NFL and college ball and football, it's a quarterback sport. Everyone wants to talk to the quarterback. Everyone wants to talk to that wide receiver. But, a lot of games when you hit the game winner, you see the kicker, raising their hand. Like what does that feel like when you hit a 45-yarder, a 50-yarder, and you just won the game for your team? What does that feel like?
When you win the game, everybody wants to talk to you. It's cool. I mean, all the attention is right around you for that hour. You're the man of the day in town.
Love it. What motivates you to put that ball in between the uprights? What motivates you, number one, as a kicker?
I think I love playing football. I do it like the thrill. There's not a lot of things in the world that like bring this type of thrill to you. Yeah, I mean, I think that mostly.
With that said, you were a top D1 kicker last couple of years. Like you weren't playing, touch football out there. You're playing the Baylors and the West Virginias and the Oklahoma States, Big 12's a huge conference. What do you attest to kind of being so clutch? Like it looks like anyone could kick a ball out there, but obviously there's some kind of pedigree. But what made Gabe Brkić so clutch on the field out there?
I think I have a fearless trait, and I tend to not like, I care about the outcome, but it won't take myself over in the situation. So I won't get caught up over one play. I'll just move on if I miss, or just, I'm not scared to make a field goal.
So you're saying you're fearless out there,
yeah,
made field goal or not.
Yeah.
So so I got to ask you, I've never talked to, a football kicker before. The whole game goes without you in there, and then it's make or break at the end. If you miss a kick, how long do you dwell on it?
I just like right after that, I move on. I forget about it. After the game, I'll look at it. I'll watch it, break it down. Next day, I won't even think about it.
I like it. Fearlessness, my friend. Fearlessness.
Yeah.
Well, you said you're without fear up there. You're going into the NFL. A lot of money. You're going to be with some superstars in the locker room, maybe some Super Bowl champions. You go out there when you get your chance out there in the NFL, whoever drafts you, and you're out there in an icy winter game or a playoff game, and there's 3 seconds on the clock, and Gabe Brkić has to kick the game winner from 47 yards out with, win from left to the right. What's going through your head?
Yeah, this is a big question. I get asked a lot, but like nobody gets an answer. I don't think about anything, honestly. I just take my head completely off football and just put it somewhere else. Because I think if you think about football right in that moment, you could overthink yourself, and you could, at the end of the day, it's just muscle memory. I've kicked so many footballs and made so many field goals, so I just go out there. I could think about the beach in Croatia. It don't matter.
Love it. What's the longest kick in a game that you've ever been recorded?
I had 257s this year. Yeah, I had 5 field goals over 50 yards, but this past season. But the furthest was 57. I hit that twice.
Yeah, and that's why you're going to be playing in the NFL soon, my friend. That's why you're going to be playing with the big boys. Well, I got
maybe 50.
Very cool. Well, I want to ask you, kickers obviously don't get drafted high in the NFL draft. You got your running backs, your wide receivers, your linemen, your quarterbacks. Do you know where you're projected to go in the NFL draft next month in April?
So kickers, normally 2 will get drafted a year. and naturally kicker will go in any round, like 5th to 7th.
Okay.
There could be 2 or 3 going 5th to 7th. It depends.
Do you care where you go?
No, I'll go anywhere.
You'll go anywhere. What about do you care which team picks you up?
It don't matter. I'll go anywhere and score.
Got it. So I gotta ask you. I can only assume that you grew up a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah.
You're a dog pound boy. What would that mean to you if Cleveland picked you up and you were a Cleveland Brown next year in the NFL?
It mean a lot. I mean, to play in front of all my friends and family in the same city, but yeah, it mean a lot. It mean a tremendous amount. But at the end of the day, I'll play anywhere and win games.
Got it. Well, you know what? If the Chargers or the Rams pick you up, your former coach Lincoln Riley just bought a pretty fat house here in LA. I don't know if you checked that out, but
He did.
He's doing okay. You come visit us, the LA Hrvati out here. We'll take care of you, buy you a drink when it's your off day. So, but I want to ask you, kicking in the NFL, who's kind of your idol? Who do you model your game after? There's been some great kickers. Vinatieri comes up there. Baltimore has one of the best kickers out there. Justin Tucker. I mean, he's I think he's 90%. It's unreal. Like, who do you kind of model your game after, and who do you look up to as when it comes to the NFL kicking game?
I mean, I model my game off Justin Tucker mostly because he's I mean, we have a similar like stature. We're both 6'2" or so, and like 200 pounds, or he might be a little lighter. But I think like mimicking my game off his, it's good, and comparing our forms, because if comparing me to like a 5'9" guy, it's different. He could do different stuff. He's got smaller feet and stuff. But no, I think Justin Tucker, like I can compare myself to him.
You're comparing yourself to the greatest kicker in the past couple seasons. I love it, man. You are fearless. I can't wait to see where you get drafted. I can't wait to see you work up the ranks in the NFL, and for all our followers and our viewers out there in CroatianSports.com world. It'll be interesting putting you on the map, with all our fans across North America, US, Cleveland, New York, Toronto, Vancouver, all those places. So I wish you the best, my man. I can't wait to see where you get drafted. But I got to ask you an important question. This video is being recorded roughly 12 hours before the World Cup draw, the 2022 World Cup draw. But it's going to be posted after. So I can't ask you what happens because we don't know what happens yet. And you're a soccer guy growing up. Is there a team that you fear Croatia getting in group stage? We're in pot 2. And there's some pretty powerful teams in Group 1. Do you fear any one team?
I mean, no. Technically, I don't fear anybody. We'll beat them all, but I think Spain would give us the biggest run for our money. Spain's good. We always have trouble against Spain.
Always Spain, not France. You're not too worried about France on this run?
We'll whoop France. We'll beat them.
Well, listen, everyone. I think I'm dubbing you the fearless Gabe Brkić over here, the pride and joy of Cleveland, Ohio. Listen, man, looking forward to watching where you get picked in the NFL draft late April. What do you have to say to all your friends and family watching this out there in North America? Do you have any shout outs when wherever you get picked up, when they're coming to an NFL game? Do you have anything to say to them and your future fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, I thank them all. I thank everybody who got me to where I am today. But yeah, I mean, if they show up, I want them to know that I'm about to make that kick if I step out there.
I love it, man. Confidence and a little bit of fearlessness. I love it, man. Yeah. Well, listen, CroatianSports.com nation, Ante Kvartić with a brand new face, Mr. Gabe Brkić. I wish you the best, my man, and I'm looking forward to following your career.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ante.